Hello everyone and welcome to this video where we'll talk about the SCULPTGL web application created by Stéphane Gignet. We are in the field of digital three-dimensional sculpture and modeling. There are several programs created specifically to carry out these activities such as ZBrush, Matbox, Blender, Sculptris, Meshmixer or Maya. SCULPTGL is a free web-based application for digital sculpting, so you can start it right away without installing anything. It is possible to download an independent version by going to Stéphane Gignet website. Here we can download a standalone version identical as the web version. In this first guide, which is mainly introductory in nature, we will see the information, functions, and possible general actions of the program. First of all, let's open the site by writing on our search engine SCULPTGL. We obtain these results and just click on the first site to access the platform. This is the programming interface. First, let's see how to move around the model and the camera settings. We can move the camera with the mouse or trackpad. This program also supports the use of graphics tablets. The first movement we will see is the rotation around the model. With the mouse, to carry out this action, all we need to do is hold down the left mouse button on the free area of our workspace and move the mouse around the object. If we want to do the same action with the cursor over the object, we need to hold down the right mouse button and move around the object. It is possible to do the same action with the trackpad. So let's hold down 2 fingers on the trackpad and move in to move around the object. In this way, it's the same if the cursor is on the object or over the blank space of our workspace. The second movement of the camera is translation. In this case, we hold down the Alt or Option key and move the mouse. As before, we need to hold down the left mouse button with the cursor over the blank space or the right mouse button over the object. So we can do the same action with the trackpad by hold down the key Option or Alt and move 2 fingers over the trackpad. The third movement is to zoom in and zoom out. This action can also be carried out with the mouse, in particular by turning the wheel. If we want to use the keyboard, hold down Ctrl and move the mouse while also holding down the right button. So, let's go up to zoom out, let's go down to zoom in, let's go right to zoom in, and let's go left to zoom out. So we can do the same action with trackpad by holding 2 fingers apart to zoom in and bringing 2 fingers together to zoom out. In case we want to rotate 90 degrees around the object, let's use one of the methods explained previously to move around the object, and let's hold down Shift. The last thing to know about the camera is how to return to the initial view. So after changing the view, let's press the spacebar to return to the initial view. On the command bar at the top left, we find the Import and Export section. We can save our 3D model or import another one into our work area. In this section, there are three main commands: import, export scene, export textures. The first option allows us to import models in OBJ, SGL, PLY, and STL formats. Let's take an example. I download a file in OBJ format from the Sketchfab site, which we will import into the SCULPTGL program. So in the section import, we have two options like scale and center and sRGB vertex color. So if we want to scale and center the object that we want to import in the program, let's make a tick into this area. So now we go to add, select the file that we want to import in the program, and let's click to upload. And this is the result we get. This is not the only way to import a file into the program, but we can drag and drop the file by the desktop. So I have the file on the desktop. Let's press, drag and drop. And here we go. So two different ways, but with the same results. In the case of the export scene, the saving options are very important. It is a good idea to frequently save the project you are working on and save multiple copies because there is no way to go back or restore the correct template from before if you save just the wrong template. We can save the file as SGL, OBJ, PLY, STL. And here we have other options like OBJ color ZBrush, OBJ color append. Usually the export all box is checked by default, but in case we have multiple objects in the same workspace and we want to export only one, just click on it to remove the tip and export only the selected object. Often this type of file is saved with an OBJ extension as it is a format that can be imported within many three-dimensional modeling programs and software. So let's try to export the scene. So let's click on Save OBJ. And here we have the download of our project. In the third section, we have Export Textures. Here we can select the size. We can save diffuse, we can save ruggedness, and we can save metalness of the textures. Continuing to the right on the top of the toolbar, we have the scene section where we have 5 independent options like clear scene, add sphere, add cube, add cylinder, or add torus. By clicking on the button Clear Scene, the software will remove the object and will clean the workspace. So let's try by click and confirm the clear scene. Let's click on OK. Other commands allows us to add a sphere, a cube, a cylinder, or a torus. We can work on each shape individually or add and work multiple ones together. So let's add a sphere, a cube, a cylinder, and a torus. The first subcategory on the scene function is selection. In this section, it is possible to hide or show the selected object, copy the selection, or delete it. So to select an object, the only thing we need to do is click on the object with the left mouse button. If we want to select more objects at the same time, let's do the same, but holding down the Shift key. With multiple objects selected, on the Scene section will appear the command Merge Selection. So clicking on it the different objects will be identified as a single body. The other extra category allows us to establish and modify some scene settings as we like. For example, we can decide whether to darken the unselected objects, to show the contour of the object selected, to show the grid, and to show the mirror line. So here on the tool Seam Offset, we can decide where to put the mirror line. To put it right, let's just write here the value 0. In the third section called History, it is possible to remove and re-execute the changes made during the modeling of the object with the back and forward commands. In addition to click here in this way, we can execute the backwards command by taking Ctrl Z on the keyboard and the forward command by pressing Ctrl Y. So to go back, we press Ctrl Z, and to restore what we had done, Ctrl Y. So the two max stack means a maximum amount of action that can be established to remove changes made to the object. We can reach a maximum of 50 to a minimum of 3. It is advisable to increase the possibility of removing changes as much as possible for those who are new to this program. So let's take an example. If we made 5 changes that were all wrong, but with a minimum of setting of 3 actions to go back, there would still be 2 left, and therefore we would have to restart over. In the background section, we can establish what surrounds the object. We can import an image in JPEG and PNG format to use as a background, or click next to the type, and we can also select the environment or the ambient. Usually, images can also be imported to model and sculpt the object in order to best size the model in relation of the image. So let's take an example. Let's go to background, image, import. Let's select the image that we want to upload, and let's click to upload. The fill option at the bottom allows us to extend the chosen image across the entire background. To remove the image, click on Reset. In the camera section, we have some options and functions anticipated already at the beginning of the video. In the View category, we have 4 options: Reset, Front, Left, and Top. In addition to select these options from the camera menu, we can also select them by pressing F, L, T, and spacebar keys on our keyboard. The model in our workspace can be seen in perspective or orthographic mode. The first gives a much more natural view, but by selecting the second, we perceive the object in some flat way. However, the orthographic view is very important, as it is often used to allow the object to be measured accurately, something that the perspective view does not allow, as it shortens the real measurements. The tablet pressure settings allows us to manage the radius and the intensity of the pressure in case we use a graphics tablet. By clicking on Language, we can change the program language. The extra UI allows us to change the color of the interface encoded in HEX format. We can modify the colors altogether according to an already established palette by clicking on the overall category. We can modify the colors of the widget, the background, and the text individually by clicking on the values of the advanced category. Clicking on About and Help will open Stefano Ginier's website, where you will find information, the list of tools provided by the platform, and the link to download the standalone version of SCULPTGL, as previously mentioned. We conclude this introductory guide to the program here. See you in the next video where the rendering, topology, and sculpting and painting sections will be explored in depth. Thanks for watching the video, see you next time. If you want to stay updated on new guides, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support us, subscribe to the channel as a supporter.